What's up then, boys? TFC Factory Series. And the gates are down and off we go. Who's going to pick up the whole shot here tonight then in Rancho Cordova for the TFC Series Part 2? Down goes someone there on the Husqvarna by the looks of it in the backfield. Maybe not Husqvarna, it might be a completely different bike actually. Never mind. They're all on. My brain's stupid. Alright, we're rolling. Alrighty, who picked up that whole shot then? It went to Mixed from X-Crew. Still seems to be leading. In fact, Jay Bridge actually going around the outside of him. Let's switch over to those track cams then. Get a little bit of a better view as we go through the field. Oh, bit of a stumble at the bottom of the field here. Looks like Briggs actually still out ahead of the field, having some troubles of his own though. Just trying to get that bike settled back down. Williams then back on his heels, trying to find his way through. We'll see. Have a look here for the fight for P2. Oh, Max going down the backside there, trying for the inside rut. Doesn't quite manage to nail the landing there. William, though, will get a good drive up the hill, around the outside then, looking for the down. Lovely stuff indeed so far then. William and Jay Briggs leading the field. Beveridge trying to find his way through here as well. Let's have a look. Oh, we've got Falcon knocking Resurrected off. I'm not sure if it was Resurrected and Raymond, actually, and Falcon just in the mix there. Kuda retires early on from the race then here on the first lap. William, though, oh, just about holds on to the outside there. Jay Briggs dives to the inside, both hitting the double nicely there. William getting a bit poor on the rhythm there. He's going to struggle up this next section. Now allow Mack and Mix to find their way up. Is it Mackie or Mac? I'm not sure. We'll roll with it. Beveridge definitely closing in here, around the outside, looking for that fast berm. Can he squeeze himself up the inside? Yes, he can. It's going to be enough as well. Mix there, making a bit of an error on the second berm. Kerp and Falcon having a nice little fight here. Let's see who's going to bring it out on top, black and white or red and black. Falcon having a lovely run there through the corner. Gets the pass done on the inside. Up the hill we go. Looking to secure it now on that downhill. Kurt runs himself a little wide. That's going to cost him a fraction of a second there. Falcon does manage to pick up that inside berm. Very lovely stuff indeed. Down the inside, Max having a bit of an issue there. Manages to hold on to the bike though. Down the hill we come now. Fast as hell through this section. Over the little roller, looking solid. Mix looking for any kind of gap that he can create here. Mix holding onto that inside line. Can he grab it? Yes, he can. Max running it wide there and just off the outside bounds. William getting that gap closed right down here to Max on the Honda up ahead. Falcon there seems to have fended off Resurrected, at least for now. We'll see if Resurrected can make his way back up through the field though. So then, Jay Briggs does still lead by 4.8 seconds according to the last timing gate. Definitely a very, very hefty gap indeed. Beveridge here then, just behind Mac for P2. Well, Beveridge for P3, Mac for P2, sorry. Mac seems to have gotten by, runs it very wide on the top of that hill there, sending it just a little bit too hard. Picks up the outside line, Beveridge to the inside, definitely saving himself that fraction of a second there. But good fun regardless. Up the hill we go then, Mac gets a fantastic run around that corner. Gives him a little point as we come around the outside right now. Beveridge doesn't quite manage to use that table to his fullest advantage. Kurt then getting his action back in the game here. Lovely stuff. Casing the doubles just a little bit. He's going to struggle up this hill. Let's see how he lands it. Nice and buttery. Just about grabbing that central right again there. Almost losing out to the braking bumps, but somehow manages to hold on. We will take it. Thank you very much. Jay Briggs seems to have had a huge issue, leaving Beveridge now the new race leader as we enter towards the end of the race here. Mac for P2. Jay Briggs, I'm sure, will try and get his way back into the lead. But it's going to depend on a hell of a lot here over the next few laps. Good. Terrifying section of track there. Mac with the rejoin. Not entirely sure if that was a legal rejoin. I may have missed something that happened earlier on though. Jay Briggs, oh, goes for the inside fast line. Butchers it. Takes out Mixed in the process. Mac then gets the position. Mixed then just ahead of Jay Briggs. Briggs trying to find his way up the inside. He manages it. Max looks like he's going to take advantage of Mix's mistake as well there. He does. Jay Briggs then onto the back of Max. Still holding on. Mac desperately trying to defend the P2 position. Jay Briggs going for that tight inside though and manages to get the pass done just before the JD Designs jump. Over that single now. Alrighty, let's check back in with Beveridge, who's now lost a significant amount of time here. He did have, what was it, a 12, 13 second gap, now down to 10.7. So it is 100% starting to close as Jay Briggs gets that hammer back down on the Honda. Let's have a look at here. Falcon, just ahead, or just behind him is Kerp. On the 327 bike, going over the Ace Moto jump once again. Jay Briggs down to 8 seconds between himself and Beveridge now. We'll have a look up with Briggs here as he absolutely holes around the outside there. Oh, and down he goes! There goes the gap that he's worked just so hard to create there. 5.7 seconds. Now probably more like 7 or 8 seconds there after that crash. Thankfully gets back up to race pace reasonably quickly. Hard around the outside berm there. Wasting absolutely no momentum as we come through this section here. Up the uphill doubles. Beveridge then does continue to lead. And as long as he keeps his head in the game, he may be taking Moto 1 home under his belt. Looking good. Oh, just a bit heavy, but makes it. That's going to cost him a lot of time through here. Don't crash. Holds onto the bike by the skin of his teeth there. A little bit of a case as we come up the hill here, but Jay Briggs making smooth work of that same section right on his heels now. Just a couple of seconds between these bikes. On towards that final corner. Ooh. And the leader then, Beveridge, takes us on to our final lap as he leads just ahead of Briggs. Oh no! Absolute disaster for Beveridge from Den Team. It's gone absolutely horrendously for him. He's had a moment there on the landing of the finish jump by the looks of it. And right at the final part of the last lap, Jay Briggs retakes the race lead. Very, very nice stuff for him. He'll be absolutely pumping with adrenaline right now. Just keeping ahead of that Beveridge bike. He does not want to be losing at any time to the Dennett bike. Oh, and down goes Beveridge again, just trying just that little bit too hard to regain first. Happy with second he should be. And holding on is most definitely the best piece of advice we can give him. Mac, not far behind here. Beveridge doesn't have room to make any more mistakes during this race. Otherwise he will potentially concede P2, and there's another mistake! The bike goes down, Mac takes the safer outside line, drives up the hill nicely then, and Beveridge has cost himself 2 positions in half a lap here on the final lap of the race. Briggs, though, looks like he's almost untouchable here as we come towards the final few sections of the track. Over the JD Designs jump, runs it a little wide, just about holds on. Over that final single now then. And a crash! It could be all over for Briggs. He needs to get that bike back moving again, and he does! Just about. Oh my god! Oh, that's got to have been a heart attack moment. Briggs then does cross the line in P1. Mac for P2. Looks like we're going to have Beveridge bringing home P3, if provided he doesn't get undercut by Mix here. Mix looking to try and find his way in. Doesn't quite find it. In fact, he does. Beveridge then potentially picking up a penalty. Can't visibly see one, though. Must have been one that he received earlier on in the race. Not to worry then. Mixed will take P3 for Moto 1 here. Beveridge for P4. Max for P5. Resurrected then for P6. William then coming across that JD Designs jump and will finish up for P7, provided no major incidents here. Falcon coming across that final jump for P8. Alrighty then, Kurt finishes up P9. And in the last still riding spot, Raymond and Kuda both retire earlier on in the race. And a very nice Moto 1 overall. Alright, lap time wise, Jay Briggs was running a 2:09, the fastest by just over 3.3 seconds. Very, very nice performance from him then. A 2:09 is a good speed around this track if you ask me. But for now, on to the gates once more. The gates down and off we go. Looks like Falcon has stopped and started. He couldn't decide whether he wanted to start that race. Oh, and a huge collision. 4 bikes involved here. Falcon managing to find his way through, gaining himself a few positions. Jay Briggs, the previous Moto 1 winner, involved in that incident. Beveridge then, from the Dennett team, took a fantastic little hole shot there. I completely forgot what the name of the hole shot was. But we're doing good. Kuda, not so much. Had a bit of an issue there at the bottom of the hill. That's going to cost him so much time up that hill. That is... I feel that pain in the bottom of my heart. Jay Briggs, an absolute disaster, as well as Mac and Kerp, also having issues there on the downhill left-hander. A very tough corner to grab, especially with a few bikes around you. Briggs having some more issues then. Onto the back wheel we go. Hopefully he can get some good pace going. Mixed stumbles over his own front wheel there as he turns into the corner. Very, very unfortunate Pomoso moment indeed. So then, Beveridge leads 2.5 seconds just as a Resurrected, although now Resurrected is going to look to try and regain that position and does so very nicely indeed. Mixed is going to have a good drive down this hill. Beveridge is going to have to defend it as hard as possible here into the corner. Got to find his way back up through the field, clear his way. Ooh! Clear his way through the rest of the field nice and safely if we can. Nearly tags the front of William's bike, manages to hold onto it though. William as well. No idea how he kept that bike under wraps. Let's have a poke up with the front of the field then. We've got a battle here between Beveridge and Mixed after Resurrected took that lead during Beveridge's previous crash. Beveridge has managed to defend Mix for now and then remains P2. Kuda, Max just happens to slip up the inside of Kuda there just at the JD Designs. I have to wonder if Kuda had a moment, maybe ran it wide, maybe had a bit of a wobble. Both bikes collide though after the single. And now onto that finish jump we go. Kuda retakes the position past Mac. Kerp hot on their heels. Not far behind at all. Briggs as well. Looking down the inside of Mac. Can he find a gap? Not quite. He's going to have to look for the undercut. Oh, just about boxes it. Hits the outside of the corner there. And that will, unfortunately, upset the bike just enough to lay him off. That was looking very nice, though. If that front tyre had just had a little bit more grip, I bet you any money he would have been looking down the inside for a little switchback underneath the other bikes. Definitely looking a little bit tough for Resurrected, who was leading just a few moments ago. Now all the way down to P4. and climbing his way back up towards that podium. Kuda then coming around in the back there. Jay Briggs as well, just coming into view at the top of the screen. Gets it moving as we come up these uphill doubles. Briggs and Kuda at a moment. It looks like Briggs managed to cut underneath Kuda as Kuda landed, maybe had a moment on that inside berm, it looks like, on the top of the jump. Definitely a sticky situation for him. Briggs then finding his way through that field. Did start right at the back then after that first moment, or the first that first corner crash at the whole shot corner. Thankfully, finds himself back up into P5, halfway through the field then after the start. 3-2-7. Kerp seems to have had an absolute disaster here. A massive crash, way off track. Finds himself under some severe pressure here from Kuda now. Kuda gets a nice little bit of rhythm though. Both bikes are going to grease this. Looking good. Nice and tight goes Kuda, looking for inside to inside. Kurt runs it just a little bit too hot around the outside and ends up finding himself over and outside the top of the berm. Falcon now going for position around the outside. Looks like he's going to secure it, providing get a good drive off of this corner here. Over the JD jump. Kurt and Falcon then. Falcon just about holding on. Over the single, both bikes landing almost simultaneously. Then Falcon gets the better drive by the looks of it. Kurt, though, does manage to hold on and keeps it under wraps, at least for now, onto the finish jump. As we have Jay Briggs closing on to the back of Max in the fight for P3, it looks like here. And Briggs down. Oh, it looks like he tried to cut across to the inside and just tagged the rear wheel of Max there. A very, very unfortunate accident. Both bikes losing a couple of positions there in the moment. So yeah, the battle for P2 is what we're witnessing right now. Mixed holding that position at the moment. Both bikes looking like they're making this rhythm section light work, mixed with a little bit of a case, but manages to get the pace back up here just before the step up. Thankfully, tucks in that inside. Very, very tidy. Very tidy riding indeed. Max on the red bike finds himself through. Mac on the fluorescent yellow though, hot on his heels. Alrighty then, Briggs finds himself up into P3, back on the hot heels of Mixed. After Resurrected's earlier incident there, in the final stages of that previous lap here. Just over 2.5 minutes remaining on the clock. Jay Briggs, very, very scrubby dubby. Mixed looking to go a bit cocky on defence, but Briggs down the inside and side by side now for the downhill corner we go. Mixed to the inside, Briggs to the outside, Briggs carrying significantly more speed, just about holds it on the track. Deary me, and we're still side by side here as we come into the inside. Oh, it's front wheel heavy for Briggs and he goes down and out. Appreciate the follow there, JM Resurrected also having his own issues then. Mixed stays P2 for now. Just trying to make sure that you're covering the lines that your opponent wants. Mac and Maxed, the yellow and red bikes, back at it again. Max on the red Honda gets a fantastic drive up to the left of that hill there. Looking for the inside here as well. Doesn't quite grab it. He actually opts for the outside there on purpose, which is a very interesting strategy. Manages to find his way through though, after both bikes have a little bit of an off. Briggs hot on the heels of Mixed once again here, and he's down once again. Oh no, I just need to stop talking about this man tonight. I'm giving him the singular worst luck that I've ever seen. Jay Briggs onto the back of Resurrected. Looking to regain that P3 position if he can. Oh, Mix has had disaster! Disaster for the P2 bike, and Briggs and Resurrected both slip on by. Mix getting forced off the podium and then collected again by, it looks like, Briggs. Both bikes having an absolute mayhem of tonight. I can't find the words to talk about just how awful that was for both of those riders. Resurrected then says, thank you very much, both of you. Looks like Falcon and Kerb having another great little battle here at the back of the pack. Just goes to show that even if you're in the last few spaces, it doesn't matter. The battles will still be nice and tight, nice and hectic. Briggs though, making some light work as he comes through the field here. Just 6 seconds behind Beveridge according to that last timing gate, but it looks to be more than, well, it looks to be about 1 second less than now. Looking for both bikes to come down to the inside. We're almost nose to tail in the corner. Both bikes having a bodged up landing, but managing to hold on to it regardless. Resurrected closing in onto the back there as well. Beveridge dives down the inside. Briggs will look for the fast outside line, but it's not going to be enough just yet. Oh, and he stumbles over the back of Beveridge, just clipping the rear fender by the looks of it with his front wheel. Absolute tragedy for him. Down to P3 we go again. Resurrected then resecures P2 as a result of the other bike's mishappenings. Check in with the field. We got Falcon and Kurt back at it again, look. Up the hill we go. Kurt runs it a little bit wider there. I think avoiding Falcon because Falcon had a bit of a wobble that looked absolutely terrifying. Honestly, if I was Kurt, I may have done the same thing at the same point. Oh! Both bikes running it a little wide but holding on. Frantic stuff here at the back of the field. Beveridge leading the field still. Very, very nice performance from him. Didn't quite get the Moto 1 finish that he wanted, but still finished with solid points on the board. And it looks like he might have Moto 2 in the bag. Resurrected, hovering in the positional P2, although the timing tree still says P4, so I have to wonder if he had some kind of cut penalties. Briggs then, closing in very, very rapidly to Beveridge. Look how close this is. Maybe 10 bike lengths between the two of them? Not even that by the looks of it now. Briggs absolutely hauling ours, getting that hammer down, looking for another last lap victory. Can he pull it out of the bag? Down the inside we go. Over the doubles, through the rhythm section, and up towards the step up. Briggs gets a little bit off pace, but somehow manages to smooth it out. That was incredible. I've never seen a recovery like that in that particular section of the track before. Very, very impressive. Briggs then, side by side with Beveridge, got the advantage down the inside line. Both bikes squeezing for the same rut. Beveridge forced out. Briggs gets a little bit too much loose on the rear end. Coming down now over the JD Designs jump, and it's disaster for Briggs. It looks like he's going to have to settle for P2. Unless Beveridge has some mega, mega disaster here in the final turn. Doesn't look like he's going to have it, though. Across the line we come then as a Moto 2 victory for Beverage. Briggs then finishes, unfortunately, with his tail tucked behind his legs, but I think it might just be enough for the overall win here tonight. I think Beveridge finished too far back for it to matter too much. So I think Briggs may have taken it home. Max then finishes up P3. Resurrected pushed all the way down to P5 due to track cutting penalties. So we were right earlier on when we said it was a little bit suspicious that he was back up with the front of the field. The game has accommodated for that, thankfully. Alrighty then. Top 5 are done. Mixed then on the X-Crew team. Unfortunately seems to have a bit of a trouble. Little backflip then. Doesn't quite manage to get it round, but a valiant effort nonetheless. J Briggs for P1, Beveridge for P2, Mac for P3. Then we had Max in P4 on the 122 bike. Mixed follows up on P5. Then we have Resurrected, followed up by Falcon for P7. William picked up P8, then Kuda for P9, Kerp in P10, and Raymond, unfortunately there, with missing Moto 2, finishes up in the slow spot of P11. Until next time, catch you in a bit, boys. Have a good night.